Hello, Internet. I'm me. And this is Kaizoku Sentai gokaiger, episode 37, I think. I might be wrong on that. Anywho, yes, I'm shirtless under here. And this episode is a 10 out of goddamn 10. Mm-hmm. And I have an announcement to make that is freaking awesome. One, this episode will change. It changes all my perspective of Super Sentai, so that automatically just got it a huge, rating for me. And two, sorry, the 99 hero battle, Gokaiger versus Go Senja movie, he's on the net. I'll get you a link for it if I can. It's raw right now. I don't have it subbed yet, so keep an eye out for that and update me if I don't already find the subbed version. I'll get that to you guys first if I can. Okay, so let's talk about this episode. This episode is, of course, a continuation on the two-parter. The first part, where Wazoo Guilds in the Great Walls robot defeats the Gokaiger, with Marvelous ejecting the rest of the Gokaiger team out of the ship as out of the Gokaiger as it reverts back to a ship and crashes down to the ground. Marvelous mortally wounded or something, and just knocked out on the ground, while the rest of the team is split off into different areas, and Wazugil wins. So yeah, this episode is literally half of it is watching Wazukio, pretty much, flaunt his, I won, and then the other half is ass kicking. And boy, does this episode deliver on the ass kicking. Alright, I'm gonna say spoilers, just in case you haven't seen it or for some reason. Um, Spoilers. Two major characters die in this episode. And of course, yes, they're both villains, but still. Two major characters die in this villain, and technically two arcs are completed in this episode alone, which is, I didn't see that coming. Okay, let's start off with I'm not going to go through the story really too much, because pretty much I'm going to just explain those two spoilers, and those two spoilers will pretty much say the whole story for this episode. So, yeah, the Gokaiger, of course, are on the run, looking for Marvelous, hoping he's safe. They know he's safe, but they're banding back together after their defeat, and Joe confronts Sid Pseudo. He says it's Pseudo Senpai, or just Sid Senpai for us American English speakers. He finds him, and he starts to battle. And something that has changed in this battle is, instead of him, he starts to say Pseudo Senpai, and he goes, no, Kaizoku. And I was like, ooh, Joe has actually accepted that his old master is gone. And he starts to put his faith more in Marvelous as the captain, more than trying to get Sid back. And he kills him. Yeah. Setting Sid's soul free from his robotic form. And, of course, this was supposed to be a happy moment for us all. Like, hooray, Joe got his master back, sorta. But once Kaizoku dies, guess who gets pissed? Wazuki, because he and Kaizoku were pretty tight. Well, not really tight. More of Kaizoku was like ordered to follow Wazuki around, while Wazuki actually pretty much poured his heart out and respected Bazuki, fucking Sid Senpai, as a henchman. He actually poured his heart out to him, even though sometimes he wouldn't respond, or most of the time he wouldn't respond because he's a robot. but he would pour out his soul to him and saw him as a close friend. So when he hears he's dead, first thing he does is hop into that great walls and start trying to kill the gokaiger. And of course the gokaiger are fighting and they're going through their special attacks, but their special attacks aren't doing jack shit. And then out of nowhere, this whole episode is a bonding episode for the team, and their own keys, their own ranger keys start to glow, and it turns out they get their own special power, which combines the gokaiger, the Goljujin, and the Makfalcon together in one huge ass motherfucking Zord. Yes, I use the word Zord. Fuck off. Anywho, after that, they combine, they kick ass, and they kill Wazuki. They do. And honestly, let me talk about that. The final, what is it, the Kazen Gokaio, which is weird when they say Kazen Gokaio. I was like, okay. But, honestly, it's a bit silly. Even though it looks a little bit, it's a rare mixture of silly and badass at the same time. Half of it you kind of want to laugh at. The other half is just like, oh, you're fucked. So it's a good half and half. The design is pretty cool. I like how the transformation happened, and I like how they've actually taken the whole this thing, the Mock Falcon sticks out of its chest but then folds out, making it more of a seamless addition. So I'm actually pretty happy for that. So pretty much it's a mixed bag for me. It's not bad, but it's definitely better than the whole go Ojan, just sit on top of the car and just ride it, and just kind of it's kind of stupid. So, we finally get to see the completion of the combined Zord. And I am skimming through this episode, really. I am not telling you. You have to experience this episode, because this episode, like the last episode, carries weight in every ounce of dialogue. Suit actors, even for the bad guys, are all emoting emotion through these without being seen. It's almost on par with the suit actor for Darth Vader in Star Wars, where there's this. It's like you have these guys who are just covered head to toe. You don't see a damn thing of them, and yet their emotions come out, and you could turn the whole thing on mute, and you would get the story. And I love that you can see in the body language, the very body language of their movements, that you could see their emotions, and it was fantastic. Oh, I loved it. And you've got to experience it for yourself. This is a great episode. I did find few problems with this episode. Maybe the whole heavy-handed "we gotta work together" thing is kind of lame, and to me. But again, this is a huge change for Super Sentai for me, because I'm an American. I grew up with Power Rangers, where we had one main villain and his sidekick, and that was it. We had that one main villain and sidekick all the time. Never really changed. And literally seeing two of the main villains, the big villain and the loyal sidekick, die is like, wait, what the fuck? And of course we all know the Emperor's gonna come in, but something happens in this episode. Once Wazuki, defeats the Gokaiger the first time and comes onto his ship, Damaras actually tries to come in and, congratulate him, and then and Wazuki was just like, fuck you, and then walks off. And after Wazuki dies, it's not like, and when I say die, I don't mean they blew up and, they're like, he's dead. No, they go and find the body, and He's dead. There's no crawling out of the ashes for these guys. They show Baizoku's dead body. They show Wasugil's dead body. And Damaras actually recovers Wasugil's dead body and swears revenge on the gokaiger. And honestly, I can see this whole Sentai being rewritten as a Shakespearean play of revenge in war. And I love it. This episode was so fantastic, and I love how it was done. I guarantee you, if you're a Super Sentai fan, you'll love it. If you're a Power Rangers fan, and you come into it, and I mean, yes, you have to watch the rest of the season to get what's going on, but boy, it will blow the lid off of your fucking head and blow your mind, and like just take your mind and chunk it across the room and say, "You happy now?" Because wow, this episode was great. I can't praise this episode enough, or I can, but I really don't want to exceed this 15 minutes. So I'm just gonna close this out with this is a 10 out of 10 must see. This is the best two-parter so far. This is the best two-parter in my opinion, and I can't wait for the next two-parter to come along to try to beat this. And if they do beat it, I'm good. Just keep up the good work. This is supposedly the halfway point of the series, or of this season. And if this is just the halfway point, I can. Wow, I can't wait to see what the final battle is going to be. So, until next time, y'all. Peace.